Hello, Chemistry 11. This is Mr. Chan. And what I wanted to do today was demo the lab formula of a hydrate because of circumstances we aren't able to do the lab during class time. So what I wanted to do was just go through what the introduction is, then just show you what the lab should look like, give you some sample data, and then you're able to complete the lab on your own and for you to actually do some of the calculations based upon lab data. Now, when you read the introduction, they're talking about what is a hydrate versus an anhydrous salt. So what I have here on the side here is basically what we're talking about in terms of a hydrate and an anhydrous salt. So when you have something like CaSO4 dot X, this is an unknown value of water. This entire compound is called a hydrate, okay? Now, the dot here is different from math. What this dot means is that the water molecule is surrounding the calcium sulfate particle. So if I were to draw it, it would look something like this. So you have your CaSO4, and what you would have is you would have water particles surrounding it. Okay, it's not actually incorporated into the formula, but what it is sort of like a hanger-on. So the anhydrous salt is the substance that does not have water surrounding it, and the hydrate is the entire compound. And so this little dot here is talking about just the water particles that are joined to the anhydrous salt. So when you're reading the introduction and when you're reading some of the vocabulary, please be aware that you know the difference between the word anhydrous salt, anhydrous means without water, and what is mean when it says it's a hydrate. Okay, so what sample we're going to use today is we are going to use CaSO4 hydrate, so calcium sulfate hydrate. So if I were to show you the formula here, I don't know if you can see it. You can see that it's CaSO4 X H2O, X being a variable. Now, so what we want to do is today we want to do an experiment where we're able to solve this number of X, okay? So if we were doing the procedure, I have basically done steps numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So basically I have heated up my crucible, which can be found here. I've let it cool and I've weighed out the mass. So the mass that I have here is, using my triple beam balance, is 34.000 grams. Now, it says step number 6, place 1 big scoop of the hydrate, and what you want to do is measure the mass of the crucible and the hydrate. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put a big scoop of my hydrate here, and I'm just going to put it into my crucible. And what I'm going to do is going to weigh it out. And let's see, what do I have here? 8. Okay, so here, hopefully we'll take our time and see. I'm at about, ooh, that's pretty good. I'm at about 37.629. So 37.628 grams. So I just want to double check. 37.6, yeah, about 28 grams. Now, the difference between the two will be the amount of hydrate that I've added. So if I subtract here, it would be 3.628 grams. Now, what I'm going to do is, it says step 7, place the crucible and contacts back on the heating. And what we want to do is we want to drive off any water. So right now, I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to get the heating started just to show you. I'm going to show you that there's fire. See? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat it for a few minutes. It asks for about 5 or 6 minutes. And what this will do is this will drive off all the heat, or sorry, all the water that is in your hydrate. Okay, so we just want to do that. And it's going to take about 5 or 6 minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause it here. And then when I'm done, finished heating and cooling, I'll restart. And then we'll fill in the rest or the majority of the data table. All right. All right, Chemistry 11, we are back. It's been about 5 minutes of heating and about 15 minutes of cooling. And so right now what we have is our crucible is nice and cool. We've driven off all the water. And now what we're going to do is measure the crucible and in this case, the anhydrous salt. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is we're going to measure it. And let's see what we're going to do. Okay. Okay, well, it looks like definitely less. How much less? We don't know. All right, there we go. Okay, now what we're going to do is, so we're going to take the measurement. So right now it looks like it is 36.910 grams. So definitely if you take a look, you notice that the mass is definitely lighter. Now please be aware, this is the mass of the crucible and hydrate. This is the mass of the crucible and the anhydrous salt. So if we were to take a look here, initially before we did the heating, we measured the mass of the entire substance. After the heating, what we're doing is we're just measuring the mass of this anhydrous salt. So what you should be able to do is you should be able to fill out the remainder of the data table. I believe it was the mass of the water driven off, okay, and mass of anhydrous salt. Hopefully with this data table, you are able to get that information. Now, in the very last column, they ask for the molar mass of the anhydrous salt. So again, the molar mass of the anhydrous salt. What is the anhydrous salt? It is a substance without water. In this case, it is CaSO4. So what you want to do is find out the molar mass of CaSO4, which is adding up the molar mass of calcium plus sulfur plus 4 hydrogens. All right, so that is the lab of the formula of a hydrate. Here is the raw data. Please make sure you fill out the remainder of the data table and the appropriate questions. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.